Good morning, YouTube. So this is going to continue our series on making money on the homestead, and if you hadn't figured it out, this is about milking cows. So I'm going to kind of show you me milking and how I do it and give you some tips along how this makes money on our homestead. So I'm going to finish getting set up and I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, so I have several milk cows. Not all of them are in milk at the same time, but as you can see right now, of the ones that milk, this is the boss. Her name is Blondie, so I'm gonna bring her in and milk her first. She's waiting on me every morning. She'll about tear the gate down if I don't let her in quick enough. She has a lot of flies right now. They all do. We've had a lot. We had a really dry summer, but the rain has kicked in the last few weeks, and we've had flooding rains, and it just seems to bring out the flies. Now after Blondie, the other two are a little shy, and you can see she just looks at them and they run. So it's just whoever will run up in here next after this. Okay, this is Josie. We bought her and she probably got bred too young. She's kind of small. In fact, she's raised a huge calf that's almost as big as her. But she's about the sweetest cow you could ever have. All right, as you can see, I'm giving them a little grain. That's because, not because they have to have it. I could probably confine them and milk them without it, but it just makes them happy. It's not enough to really do anything. It's not like they're largely grain fed or anything. It's just a few pounds of grain a day, just so that while I'm milking them, they're getting a treat too. So, but that is figured into what I make and spend on this milking endeavor, so keep that in mind. Josie's only ever had one calf, so she's still considered a heifer. You can see she's got a really nice udder that doesn't sag down. She's or she just kicks poop up on it, so I'm gonna rewash it. Josie, she doesn't normally ever kick, but these flies are driving them crazy, which I can understand. We're gonna have to do something about the flies. Mild Dr. Bronner's soap and water, that's all I'm using. I was using like specialized teat wipes, but I ran out. So I've just been using this and it works awesome. Nope, don't kick me. Okay, so I finished milking. I'm back up here at the garage. I'm gonna go in, and you saw me go out the side door. I can't do that when I come back. My milker is so heavy and full. But I'm gonna open the big door. And number one, if you're milking and you don't have a wagon and you're carrying much milk, invest in a wagon. That's one of the best things we invested in. So I can't remember how much it was. I want to say it was like $100 or something at TSC. I could be off on that, but maybe whoever edits this will put it on the screen. But it's the best thing ever. I'm getting like 5 or 6 gallons of milk a day. That's heavy. That was getting hard on my back. So get you a wagon. Okay, I'm gonna go out here and get my little wagon full of milk. So let's talk about making money from milking cows. Let me focus on getting this in the garage. Okay, so first thing I want to tell you is don't be afraid of cows. If you have goats and you think, well, goats are small, a lot less dangerous, a lot less to handle and all that, some of those things are true. But from what I've found, the dairy breeds, the cows especially, and I'm not going to say the bulls, but they're bulls, but the cows, they're pretty gentle. And we've had some pretty wild ones that I've had to train. But once I get them trained and they realize, hey, when I come in here and let her milk me, I'm going to get a little bit of grain, they settle right down. In fact, they're waiting on me in the morning. They do not, the only time they kick is if they have a sore, flies on their back, something like that. And they're not kicking to hurt you. If you have a mean cow that's kicking to hurt you, don't have that cow. Get rid of it. So generally, I would say, got kittens coming in here with me. I would say the dairy breeds, don't be afraid of them. So that's number one. All right, so let's talk about the money part, because that's what this video is about. That's probably why you're watching it. So you may be thinking, first off, let me tell you that I sell my milk for $5 a gallon. That's a pretty fair price. There's people that sell it for quite a bit more. That's a little more than what you can get in the store, but hey, you are getting raw milk fresh from the farm, free from any kind of medications, antibiotics, anything like that. So you're getting a really good product. So you may be thinking, how are you making money buying a cow and selling milk for $5 a gallon? Well, let's think about this for a minute. Most people do not buy cows and make money off them from milk. What do they make money off of them from? Calves, okay? Well, dairy cows are no different. They're still gonna have calves. That's what's gonna keep your cow in milk. So you don't need to look at it like you're making money off of the milk at $5 a gallon. You're making money off the calves they're gonna have every year. And if you have a good breeding schedule, you should be having a calf every year, okay? So that's number one. You need to figure out how long is it gonna take me to make back the money I put into this cow from calves, okay? And then the $5 a gallon, that's money you're making on top of her having calves. So a lot of people don't think of it that way, and when you do, you're like, oh, well, that's common sense. But a lot of people just don't think of that. So the cost that I have in this gig, I've got filters for your strainer. I have this huge strainer, which, because I'm doing a pretty good volume of milk, so these are the ones that fit in there. Just look them up online according to what strainer you have. So that's an expense. Another thing you need to think about is, are you gonna milk by hand, which doesn't cost anything except you're gonna build some hand muscles, or I did that at first, but there's some things to consider. When the cow walks in and she poops, it's gonna probably splash in your milk. If it's a rainy day, you're gonna have a mess on your hands. If the cow has a sore or a fly bite her and she lifts her foot up, it's gonna probably go in your bucket, things like that. Those are things I experienced, and then the day's milk is wasted. So we quickly saw that we wanted to invest in a vacuum pump and a milker. We've actually got a couple different milkers. If you are not in a huge hurry, actually one of our milkers came with a horse and cow trade we did. It was sitting in someone's garage and they said, here, you want this? So you could run across some really good deal or someone giving one away. We bought the first one. So that's a pretty big expense, but that's something we did just for our family because it's very sanitary. It's what they call a closed system. When you get the cow wiped off and put it on there, you're not gonna have flies getting in there or poop or anything like that. It's a more sanitary condition. So just consider those things. I have to buy feed. The little bit of feed they get every day when I milk them, I have a cost in that. I have my time, which right now I'm not considering that. I'm just kind of donating that. So I'm not considering any kind of payment for myself. That's about it. I showed you I'm washing them with Dr. Bronner's soap now and rags that I wash. I'm not using anything disposable right now. I have in the past. So if you do, that's gonna be an expense. But right now I milk 4 days a week. So I take their calves away at night, put them up, and I feed them. They're well taken care of. And then I milk the mamas in the morning, and then I turn them back out all day together, and then repeat the next evening, okay? So they're separated overnight. I only do that, like I said, 4 times a week. My kids are homeschooled, you know that. So I get my kids started on something in the morning. I go milk, come in and bottle all the milk, take care of all that while they're doing something that they do independently. My kids are a little bit older, but we've been doing this for a couple years now. So when your kids get to like middle school, there should be some things they can do independently. Okay, so that's how we do that. The other 3 days a week, I don't milk. I just leave the calves with them. A lot of people are like, how do you not milk every day? Just let the calves drink it. That's what I do. So you can milk as much as you want. I don't want something 7 days a week because I know myself, I would do it for a while and then I'd burn out. I've stuck with this for a long time now. So this is working for us. That's what I do. You can make more money if you want to milk 7 days a week, but I want to be in it for the long haul. So I try to keep enough customers, depending on how much milk I'm getting, that I can sell that 4 days a week worth of milk and keep plenty for us, because I like to make cheese, yogurt, kefir, all those kinds of things. The kids like to drink milk like crazy. They're teenagers, so they drink a lot of milk. So that's how I do it. And here is the secret. By doing what I'm doing, milking 4 days a week and selling most all the milk, I'm making enough money to feed all the animals on this farm. Right now, I'm even making enough to feed a little bit of feed to our beef cows when we want to go over and give them a treat. The only animal that I'm not making money to feed right now is our pigs. So our pigs are kind of, we've told you that's where we started. They're kind of self-contained, I guess you would say. They bring enough to feed them out and to feed the boar and sow, and we make a little bit off of that. So check that video out. That was our, I think, #1 making money on the Homestead video. So check that out. But everything else, I'm buying the feed out of my milk money. So it's a pretty good trade-off. I told you I wasn't figuring in a salary or anything for me, but that is my salary, is being able to take that money and go buy our feed and it not come out of our checking account or farm account or whatever you have every month. So anyway, it's awesome. Anybody could do this, and you could do this selling goat's milk too if you wanted to milk goats and sell that milk. So let me tell you a couple things I do that eliminate expenses. I use glass jars, and I know a lot of people that milk are like, I do not want to mess with people's glass jars because they bring them back dirty. Then I feel like I need to wash them because I don't want to put my fresh milk in someone's dirty jar. I get it, and I've had to do it, but it just eliminates an expense. I don't have to go buy those plastic jugs and figure that into my cost. I'd have to go up on my price if I had to be making trips. The plastic jugs available in this area are like an hour away, over an hour probably. I'd have to be figuring in gas and time and buying those things and putting them somewhere. So I'm going to show you where my glass jars are. So you just have to find somewhere that's out of your way. Mine are on top of my canning shelf. You might have seen them when I was doing other videos or whatever. I just stick them up there. I have accumulated, and you probably can too, some glass jars from people that just want to get rid of them. A lot of people do not want gallon or half-gallon glass jars. They don't have anything to do with them, so they'll just give them to you. So take them when people offer them. And then you have something to offer your customers. And what I do is I just do a jar deposit. That way if they get broken, I can replace them if I needed to go buy new jars. I use half-gallon pickle jars, things like that. So that's what I do. Or what I really suggest to people is, if you have jars, let's switch your jars back and forth. And then there's no jar deposit or anything like that. And it's their jars. It's what they prefer to use anyway. So anyway, I hope you've gotten something from this video. That is a big way we make money on our homestead. It is not providing us really cash money that we're like putting back and building up a big bank account, but it's feeding our animals, which in turn are feeding us. It's basically buying groceries for us. So hope you've got something out of this. Leave us a comment subscribe, get in on our 1,000 subscriber challenge, and we thank you for all of you who are subscribed. Our subscribers are growing every day, and we don't even know how. We're so blessed and thankful for all of you. And we will see you on the next video. God bless.